Hey guys, Head and a Spike here with another big old collection video today for you. So far, I have done the Sith, the Jedi, the clones, and now I'm doing all the Mandalorians that I have anyway, and I'm pretty sure it might actually be all of them. So, just for kicks, I'm going to be showing you all the ones that I have, which will actually include other versions as well. Because I know I didn't do that for the Jedi one. I didn't have like every Obi-Wan I own ever. Just showed like one. This time I figured, what the heck? I'm gonna show you both of my Bobas, or at least my favorite ones, and both of my Jangos, at least my favorite ones, and go from there. I'm not showing you every single one ever, but I'm just showing you a few more that I have because I think it'd just be fun to show them off in this video. So, starting off, we're going to do the very first Mandalorian ever made, which is the classic Boba Fett. This came out in 2000. He was in a few sets. He was in the Slave One original. This is before it was called the Fire Spray. That was back in 2000. And he also came out in the Jabba's Prize set, which came out in 2003. And it's a pretty simple figure, but it's very effective. It's such a cool classic figure. This is called the Classic Grays Boba Fett, by the way. He's got this helmet is attached to this jetpack, if you didn't know that. And he's got some nice printing there. And he's a pretty pricey figure. Now, he's easily about $30, maybe even like 60. He's really gone up in value. Really a cool figure. And then they made a few other ones after this one. Looks like it, but it's got like classic bluish gray, light bluish gray instead of like classic grays. So that one's just pretty pricey too. And then now we're going on to 2002, which has to have my favorite minifigure of all time. So here he is. Jango Fett. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The 7153 Jango Fett Lego minifigure. One of my most prized possessions. I love this guy so much. He's such a beautiful figure. I was dying to get him as a kid. He only came out in one single set. That was the Jango Fett Slave One in 2002. And I'm very lucky to have this one in my collection, especially in such good condition. He's really a gem of a figure. He has this really cool face on the back. He's got like this little stubble. And this little microphone so we can like communicate and all that cool stuff. Really cool print. Yeah, such a gorgeous figure. He's got unique colors for his legs and his arms. It's called like violet purple or something instead of like the usual regular purple or like blue. He's got no hairline cracks. I really love this figure. Beautiful figure. Not much more I can say about it than just how much I love it. I tried to get this thing for like 7 years of my life when I was a kid, and only until I was like 13 years old did I finally even get one or something. Pretty wild. But yeah, gorgeous figure. Very grateful to have him finally in my collection. Now moving on to 2003, which is another crazy year for Mandalorians and slash Boba Fett's and Jango Fett's and all that. Now we have the Cloud City Boba Fett, which is the most infamous minifigure of all time, probably. Definitely for Star Wars, anyway. This is a real one. This is not fake. You can always tell he's real by looking at all the other additional prints that he has. Mine is a little bit beat up, as you can see. His feet are a little bit messed up. The printing is still perfect, though, unlike all of them. I can actually show you. He is starting to have a little bit of a hairline crack now, which is very common for these real ones. See that he has a little tiny crack there, which is a shame, but it's also good for us collectors, so then we know this is the real deal. This is not a fake. And even though he's got a little bit of dinges and dents and a little tiny hairline crack, he still goes for about easily $2,000, even when he's like this condition. If he's like mint, fresh out of the box condition, then he's probably like I don't know, 5,000 or something crazy. Prices are always fluctuating with him. But what I wanted to do also while I have this here is I wanted to show you guys out there a fake minifigure. This is a fake Cloud City Boba Fett. And I did this with my Iron Man, my 2012 Toy Fair Iron Man, New York Toy Fair Iron Man. And I think a lot of people appreciated it, so I'm going to do the same thing with Cloud City Boba Fett. As you can see, on these fakes, it's still a really great print, but one of the biggest differences, like the torso is kind of raised. As you can see, it's like not like flat, like a real one is. See how like even like the light shines, it's like just flat, and this one's like raised. And like the belt is like super raised. And on the sides here, you can see it's not classic gray. It's like light bluish gray. And whoops, there he goes. He also doesn't have the rope there. See, it has a little string. The real one has a string there. The fake one does not. So there's lots of other differences you can probably tell. Maybe you can't tell super well from this lighting, but this one also has like a darker green shade for his helmet, whereas the real one matches the torso, and this new one has more like a reddish brown for his paint job on his visor, whereas the real one just has brown, it's not reddish. The stripes on the side are the same. The Mandalorian skull thing on the side, this is the real one here I'm holding. It's a little bit more clear, whereas the fake one on the left here, it doesn't even have the eyes. See that? And you can also see the lines are a little bit more bold in the real one for the wrist rocket there, and they're a little bit thinner on the fake one. And this one, the real one, has all this shading there underneath the skull. Underneath the pauldron has this like shading detail. This is just like a black line on the fake one. So little differences. If you guys look at them more, you'll see other differences the more you look at it. Even the back, you can see like the color change. Like this is the fake one, that's the real one. This one's like a little bit more of like a bluish kind of greenish, because they still can't quite get the colors right. But I'm warning you guys out there, everyone who's trying to get one of these, do your research, please, for your own sake, because they will always make more fakes, and they're getting better and better every day. So just be aware. Don't spend your money unless you really know it's the real deal. Unless you want a fake, but don't get ripped off, like I once did for Iron Man. Alright, that's enough of that. That is my talk. Now we can move on with the other Mandalorians. Now moving on to 2008, after 2003. It's a pretty big jump between Mandalorian differences, or Mandalorian types. Now we have the very first regular Mandalorian ever made. This is it's also the first time we ever get this kind of combination here, where it's not connected to the helmet. The helmet is not connected to the jetpack. They're two separate pieces. This is a Mandalorian Death Watch Warrior from 2008. Came in like a little battle pack. Maybe a few other sets. Pretty common, pretty cheap. He's probably about $5 still even now. Maybe he's like 10 nowadays. Now it's been like, 10 years since he came out, or longer than 10 years. But yeah, it's a nice figure. It's a great figure if you don't have a Jango Fett and you don't want to spend like an arm and a leg to buy a Jango Fett. You could just get this guy. He's still pretty cheap. And then around the same time, the same year, we get our very first Mandalorian Death Watch trooper, Death Watch Super Commando. And this guy has like this really cool red armor. If you guys watch the Clone Wars, you can tell these guys, they're like this because they work for Darth Maul now. They have pretty much the same head. They have a gunmetal backpack, a jetpack instead of gray. And they don't really have any back printing, I don't think. Let's check. Actually, I don't remember. Maybe they do. They might. No, they do. That's cool. Yeah, it's kind of a nice red armor, dark red armor. It's kind of like Sabine's, actually. Yeah, if you don't have a Sabine, this isn't a bad idea to use this torso for her, to make her from like season 1. It's a cool figure. These guys are a little bit pricey, actually. They're only in like one set, I believe, but there were 2 of them in one set. I like the handprint on the mask. It's kind of cool. It's kind of like reminds you of Saruman's Urukai, except instead of a white hand, it's like a black hand of Darth Maul instead of the white hand of Saruman. Cool figure, very nice. They're usually about $20 to $30, so a little bit pricey, but still not like gonna kill you. Moving on to, here's a big one. Here's a pretty expensive one. This here is Pre-Vizsla. Now this guy is a gem as well. He's a really, really cool figure. Very expensive, very rare. That's what his head looks like. He's got this really cool helmet. Another gunmetal backpack. He's got this unique cape here, which is a very, very cool piece. This alone is like probably a $75 cape. Really nice leg prints as well. Really cool color, the sand blue color. That's actually what we see later for, like, you know, the next Jango Fett, which I'll show you guys very soon. I just want to show you what his back printing looks like. He just actually has none. So, never mind. I forgot that he didn't have any. Lol. But, yeah, he does have this cool jetpack, and he has this really cool cape. Honestly, I'd choose this cape over pretty much any back printing ever. So, definitely would rather have that if it was a choice. This is such a cool figure. A lot of people really like him. Also, he's voiced by Jon Favreau. He's in the Clone Wars TV show, and Jon Favreau does his voice, which is really cool. It's like Jon Favreau's minifigure. So, very cool. Now we're moving up to another sand blue Mandalorian. Here is the 2013 Jango Fett. There's a big difference between this one and the original one, as you can see here. They're very, very different figures. Completely different in like every conceivable way. This one has leg printing and has like blue hands and belt printing, whereas the original Jango just has the silver printing on the torso and this unique arm colors and legs, but that's about it though. He does have a this one does have another head though. It has a different head. It has this Jango Fett head, and it's a nice print there. He does have back printing, as I recall, which is kind of cool, kind of nice. I don't have the 2017 one of Jango, and there's actually a rumor, I think it's confirmed, that there will be a brand new Jango Fett minifigure coming out next year in 2025, which I'm really excited about. I think he's going to have arm printing for the first time ever, and he's coming out in like his own Slave 1. Finally, we're getting a new Jango Fett Slave 1, which I'm really excited about. It's also coming out with a new young Boba Fett minifigure. Totally going to buy the new Jango Fett. Yeah, I can't wait to have that. It'll be so cool. Anyway, moving on. Now we are talking about Sabine. This is a very expensive Sabine. Yes, it is. She has the helmet, and the helmet alone makes this figure about like $150 more than she's supposed to be. She's usually like 20-ish bucks when she just has the hair, when she looks like this. This is her with her hair. But when she has the helmet, it's worth a lot more. It's easily $150, $200 figure. Very nice. I do have a custom backpack I got her, which looks really cool, I think. I gave her this custom jetpack off of eBay. I forget the seller, but I think it's Brick Tactical or Moderno Bricks, one of those. And this is her back printing without the jetpack. I really like this. I might actually try to find a I'll put it in my description of what the jetpacks are if you guys want one for your Sabine. She also has this other facial expression when she's like battling and stuff, which is kind of cool. I wish they had her with the helmet more often, because I really love this helmet. I love this color Mandalorian helmet. It's really, really cool. And it's a shame, because, you know, most of the time in the TV show for Star Wars Rebels, she always has her helmet on. It's more often than not that she doesn't have the hair. So it's kind of funny that she only has the helmet that one set. Here's another version of Sabine. This came out right after the other one. Still going in order of years here. This is like 2015 or 2016, I think, when she came out. This is from Season 2. She's got a completely different outfit now. And another like new type of hairpiece, which is such a cool hairpiece. I really like this, like blue and green and light blue. It's really nice. Same faces, but really nice detailed legs as well, and hips, and yeah, really cool figure. Not that much money. She's probably about $20-ish, maybe 25. Now here's a more expensive figure again. All these Mandalorians, man, they're pretty pricey. Here is the UCS Boba Fett. This is the newest type of Boba Fett. They've used this type of archetype of a figure for a very long time now, for a lot of figures, and he's quite cheap most of the time, but because this is the UCS one, he has a unique head, and this one head makes him worth probably $200 still, so quite expensive figure. I really love everything about this figure. It's definitely a very cool Boba Fett. I still kind of prefer, if I had to choose this one versus the Cloud City Boba Fett, I'd probably still choose the Cloud City one, just because I'm a retro lover of old Legos. But this is a very cool figure too. It's got so much great detail, and I love the Wookiee scalp that he comes with. It looks really nice. Yeah, it's a really cool figure. It's certainly a very welcomed update from the Cloud City Boba Fett, and it's still much cheaper, of course. And I think it's really a nice welcome addition to Lego, because this is like the new generation Boba Fett. I think it's great for younger kids and younger collectors to have this one be their primary Boba now for like the best ones. It's a really nice figure. Alright, moving on. Now we're getting into some quite cheap figures, because that was 2015. Now we're on to like 2017-ish, 2018-ish, around that era. Now we're getting into the Battle Pack of Mandalorians. These came out around the same time when the Mandalorian TV show first came out. So these guys, there's a ton of these guys. There's 4 that came in a battle pack. Really nice torsos and back prints, and this is when things really get fun, because you can customize all these guys, you know, with all these different Mandalorians. You can like make your own Mandalorian. They're all quite cheap because they all came out in the battle pack. Everyone was getting this battle pack. Each one's probably about $5, maybe 10 if you're unlucky. I love their little, like, the thin capes. They're very cool. And, like, the back detailing is really nice. Yeah, look at this. He like a paintball fight, that guy. And then there's this other one that came in the battle pack. This orange one, this orange-brown one. They're all called Mandalorian Tribe Warriors, these guys, on Bricklink. They're all quite cheap. And they're all faceless and nameless, except for Tribe Warrior. And the last one, we get this dude. Or dudette, I guess it's a girl. I think they're girls when they have like the night owl helmets. That's how you can tell. When they have like the regular big letter T's, they're just they're men. But when they have the kind of the thinner top visor part, then they're girls. I think that's how it goes. They have a nice back as well. She does. And yeah, very fun. I would love to get even more Mandalorian battle packs that have just like crazy colors, like pink and like yellow and orange. I want more colors, because there's so many blue ones. Like you're about to see, there's so many just blue shades of blue Mandalorians. Like here's another example. Here is Paz Vizsla. He's another sand blue figure. Very cool one. He's got a great little build for his backpack. This is the original Paz Vizsla, not the new one. They're strikingly similar, though. They almost have the same exact everything. This is what his torso looks like without the big honkin' armor piece. And here's the back of it. He's a really cool character in the TV show, The Mandalorian. And he's also just a really cool figure, because he has all these extra parts, like this buildable backpack you can put his gun on, and this armor piece. He's got a lot going for him, so it makes him really interesting. The original Paz Vizsla has certainly gone up in value. He's probably about $20, $30, $40 even. The new one is probably a little bit cheaper, even though it looks pretty much the same. You got slight differences. The new one has like a slightly different belt pattern, I think, but that's about it. Speaking of that same set that came out with Paz Vizsla, we also get the Armorer. She's a really cool character. I love Emily Swallow as an actress. She's a really cool actress. I like the fur back printing, although I kind of liked my custom I made of her a little bit more before you got this minifigure. What I thought of was giving her the Craven the Hunter big furry coat, shoulder shawl thing, and that would look better, I think, than just like a printed back with some fur. I think using that actual piece with the fur is cooler. It's a really cool helmet that she's got. I like the horns on the spikes. Very cool figure. I'm glad she was made. I wasn't sure we would ever get her, so it was really a welcomed addition. Now, can't talk about the Armorer or the other guys. Talking about Mando. This is the original Mando. He's gone up maybe a little bit in value. It's a really cool figure. It's like a classic cowboy look. These like little bullets and stuff. Yeah, it's a really nice figure. I like the gunmetal helmet. I don't have the UCS one. Maybe someday I'll get the UCS Mark I version of Mando, but I have the newest version of him here. This is like the Beskar one, where he's got the jetpack now. He doesn't have the cape anymore. And this is the new version type of helmet, because they did change the silver helmet with this new iteration. I like his face a lot. I think it looks really good for Din Djarin. Very impressed with that, and I still love the side printing for his arms and stuff with like the mud horn stuff. Oh, it's such a cool figure. Everyone should have a Mando, and I think he's very accessible, so that everyone could and should, because he is just such a gorgeous figure. I will never get tired of seeing Mando in sets. I know some people are, but I'm just like, nah. He's still such a cool figure to have. So. And it's such a good show as well. So now, let's talk about Bo-Katan. Here she is. This is the original Bo-Katan from 2017, I want to say. And it's a really cool figure to finally get her. She's quite cheap because she also came out in a little foil pack or something that came out in like the UK. And you can get her for quite cheap. She's got this cool helmet. She also has two facial expressions, and you can even give her this hair if you want to. There's her hair. This is the original one. The new one is much better, which I will be showing off momentarily. Here's her back, and she's probably like a $5 figure. She's gotten really cheap. She probably shouldn't be that cheap because she was in a more expensive set, but because of that foil pack, man, now her price has gone way down. We're talking plummeted. The poor girl is now quite cheap. But, you know, if you don't have her, she's a great one to get. She's very accessible. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. There's good and bad things about prices and fluctuations and things. Now, in that same set, we also get the Mandalorian Loyalist, who also came out in a little foil pack in addition to that set. It's a cool figure. Got this gunmetal helmet and this nice blue printing, like a light gray palette, which is kind of a unique idea for a Mandalorian. We haven't seen that much except for like the original Boba Fett. He's not much money, probably $10 to $15, but there's another one to have in the collection. So I think he's kind of cool. I like him more than some of the other ones, definitely. Like I like him more than some of the battle pack ones we've gotten. So I like the combination between the gunmetal gray helmet and the blue. I think that looks cool. So I've always liked this one. Also, my girlfriend got me him, so he's also special to me because of that. Now we have another quite expensive minifigure. It's probably the last expensive Mandalorian we got here. This here is Gar Saxon. This is the last figure that came in that same set with Bo-Katan and the Mandalorian Loyalist. He's got another really cool spiky helmet, like the Armorer. It's the same mold, as you can see. And he also has a unique head, which only he gets. So he's also kind of pricey because of that. And I love his printing. Oh my goodness, it's so cool. This like gunmetal with red, it looks so awesome and Sithy. I love it. It's like very Daedric. I think I used his armor for like a Daedric warrior from Skyrim a while back. He's also got this gunmetal jetpack, and he's got really cool back print as well, almost like a spider or something. It looks really cool. So, a very cool figure. He's quite expensive. Even when he first came out, now he's only going up in value. He's easily $40, $45. I wouldn't be surprised if later this year he becomes like, I don't know, $80. Like he's gonna double in value. Great guy to get. Love the helmet too. It's such a cool like contrast. Have like a yellow tee instead of like the usual black. Oh, everything about him super cool. Highly recommend you get him before he gets even more expensive, because believe me, my friends, he will. Now for a much more accessible and cheaper figure to get, this is the Mandalorian Fleet Commander. He came out in a set with Mando. It was like the Fang Fighter versus the TIE Bomber or TIE Fighter or something. So you have the super cheesy smile, like a even cheesier back head. I feel like he's got the same head from that guy from the Eternals, Gilgamesh or something. I don't remember. He also has this hairpiece if you want to give him hair. He's got nice printing, but like I said, now we're starting to get into the annoying bunch of blue Mandalorians. If I'm counting all the blue ones, including my Django's, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 Mandalorians that are just blue. Like some shade of blue. It's kind of annoying. So that's why I want like some yellow, some pink, some purple, even some orange, something that isn't blue. I would love that, but I don't know if we ever will get those. Or like a lime green, something that's not dark. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but you guys tell me what you think. So that's him. He's not much money, so he doesn't get much attention. All right, this one will. This is the last pricier minifigure here. This is the new Bo-Katan, which is much better than the old one. She's got this amazing arm printing, really nice leg printing, which is much better than the other one, I think, too. And more beautiful arm printing with a little wrist rocket. Oh, everything about her is so cool. And this helmet is also in really nice print. She's got 2 new faces. And she's got, to top it off, this brand new hair mold. Brand new hair piece. And oh my goodness, it's so good. It's so cool. It's so beautiful. It looks just like Katie Sackhoff. I love this figure so much. I always wanted her ever since she came out. It took me so long to get her, but I finally found a good deal, so I bought her. She's got this cool backpack as well. It's like back printing. Such a winner. This is another figure that's definitely, I can bet $1 million this figure is going to be quite expensive in the future. One more time, looking at her with the helmet. Very, very nice. And then one more time with the hair. There you go. Okay, there you go. Yeah, get her while you still can, while she's still cheap-ish, because she will not be for much longer. Now, we're getting on to we're almost done here. We're on to the last 3. Here is Sabine. This is the newest version of Sabine. This came from the T6 Starfighter. I love that set. She also came out in another foil pack, like the other Bo-Katan, the original Bo-Katan, and the Mandalorian Loyalist. I guess Lego likes doing that. She doesn't come with a jetpack, which is kind of surprising, but I guess the other 2 didn't either. I only have one because, I bought one separately because I thought it was cool. I like her facial expressions. They are both really nice. And she also comes with this unique hairpiece, which is also cool. This purple hair, which looks really nice for her. It looks really cool. And it's, like I said, it's unique. Only she ever gets this hairpiece. So, yeah, very cool figure. I think I have mixed feelings about how she's in multiple places now, because I kind of liked her being unique, but I guess it makes sense to have her a little bit cheaper, just like the new Ahsoka, you know, the new white tunic Ahsoka is now in 2 sets as well. The the gray Ahsoka, sorry. The white one is still unique from the Thrawn set, but the dark gray Ahsoka is now in the T6 with her, and also the Advent calendar. So I guess both figures are getting to be a little bit cheaper, which is good and bad. Bad for collectors, but good for people who just want the figures. So that is the way it is. And now we're talking about the last 2 figures, which are the Mandalorian Warrior. That's his name. It's pretty bland, pretty boring. He's from a battle pack that just came out from the Mandalorian Season 3. This is like from like the Moff Gideon fight and stuff. Gunmetal backpack, jetpack, nothing too crazy. Yep, nothing much to say about it. He's got no face, which is a bummer for some people. Just blue, kind of blue. And I'll show you his back because I'm nice. He's got this back printing, which looks like generally everyone else's. Not that different, not that special. He's going to be very cheap forever because he's not that interesting, and he's in the battle pack. So, yep, there he is. And then he has his counterpart, which is the Night Wolf Mandalorian Night Wolf. So again, like I said, when they have like the thinner tops of their visor, that means it's a girl. She's got pretty much the same exact torso as the guy, except for she has blue hands, and her, there are differences, but they're very subtle. Like she has some wearing on her armor on the sides, and he has them like on the top instead of the sides, and blue hands, of course, the big, obviously different part. And the legs are a little bit different. She has this strap, which he doesn't have. I kind of like her legs better than his. I think they're a cooler detail. It's just opinions, though. And here's her back as well, which also looks just like his. And that is all of my Mandalorians. Woo! At least all the ones that I feel like showing you guys. Everything else is just like Holiday Mando, Holiday Jango, and like young Boba Fett, other young Boba Fett, and like old Boba Fett from Book of Boba Fett, stuff like that, which, who cares? Here's the end of the video. If you made it here, good job. Jango Fett is saying bye, and so will I. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this collection video. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you dig this. Alrighty then. Head on a spike, out.